Saseni, hope kila mtu ako poa. Pia mimi niko fiti. This is E.N.MACHARIA, your accountant. I'm here just for a few minutes kwa sababu ya taxation and compliance. So nataka tusaidiane kabisa and we make sure that all our tax accounts, kila mtu mwenye ako na PIN numbers, KRA PIN numbers, account yake iko very clean. Hakuna swali wanaweza ulizana na KRA. So that's why I'm here today. And I hope kila mtu mwenye ako na issue na account yake anatembelea his or her branch, that is KRA branch, pali alichukua KRA PIN certificate, kwa sababu wameenroll kitu mzuri sana inaitwa tax amnesty. So kama ndio unajiunga nasi, we have covered a lesson that in a tax amnesty. Fika pale ujue what it entails, na ujue kama wewe ni one of the people who are eligible to apply for the tax amnesty, and that includes anybody mwenye akona KRA PIN number, alipigwa penalties, interests in the previous periods up to December 2022, na amefile returns, amelipa principal amount, ama atafile the taxes of the previous periods, that is up to December 2022, na alipe principal amount, then anaweza tembelea kituo cha KRA na atasaidiwa. So unaweza ondolewa all the penalties and interest, ama you have an agreement with them on how you shall clear those arrears. So for today siko hapa kwa sababu ya tax amnesty, niko hapa kwa sababu ya withholding taxes. Najua wengi wenu mumeappointiwa. So if you are one of the appointed withholding agents, for today I'm here because of you. So there are some things zimebadilishwa na hii Finance Act 2023. Zingine ni rates, zingine ni policies, zingine ni payment dates, and it's good to be well advised. So ndio ukienda kufile upate umechajiwa penalty, you will be in a position to understand as to why wanakucharge penalty and interest. So as always, have your notebook, have your pen. Nasemanga tuko kwa class, so mimi napenda sana ukitake notes kwa sababu I might not be there and you may be in need of help. So it's very easy, ukiwa na hizo notes you can refer chenye tumesema ama tumewahi sema kuhusu that certain thing yenye inaweza kuwa inakusumbua. So I hope you have your notebook. I hope you have your pen. And let's start. And we shall start by defining what is withholding tax. Yes, umeappointiwa wewe ni withholder. But what is this that you are withholding? So withholding tax is a tax withheld at source. It's a tax withheld at source. A person making certain payments deducts tax at the applicable rates and remits the tax to the commissioner on behalf of the recipient. So let's assume you've offered services to a certain person, and that service is vatable or taxable. So there is certain percentage of the tax of that service that the person you've offered the service to will withhold and pay on behalf of you to the Commissioner of Taxes. So atakata percentage fulani alipe to the KRA, and if it's not the final tax, you shall pay the remaining percentage. So the examples of payments subject to the withholding tax that are stipulated by the Commissioner of Taxes, and I'll highlight but a few, not all, but a few. So wewe jua, there are many services that withholding taxes applies. Sio hizi tu tutasema hapa. Go do your research. Jua, if you offer the service or you are being offered the service, which rate will you apply to the withholding tax? So number one, management, professional and training fee. Those are services: management service, professional services and training fees. So which rate are you supposed to apply? If you are a resident, that is a person residing in Kenya, apply 5%. But if you are a non-resident, apply 15%. 2. Consultancy fees, legal fees, audit fees. The rate is 5% for the resident and 15% for the non-resident. Contractual fees. Contractual fees, that is 5%. Winnings, watu wenye wanafanya gambling, zile SportPesa, Betika, those betting sites, ukiwin, let's assume umewekelea jackpot na umewin, they will withhold 20% of your winning, and they will pay that tax to the Commissioner of Taxes. Royalties. Royalties will be charged 20% of tax. Dividends, they will be charged 15%. So those are some of the services or payments subjected to withholding taxes, and mostly these taxes are final. Mostly these services that we've highlighted here, their withholding taxes are final. So we have content creators. Hiyo imeintroduciwa juzi na Finance Act 2023, haikuwa on the Finance Act 2022. So the rate is 5% on residents and 20% on residents. So take note. The important thing to note here, it's the rates of the withholding taxes you should charge services provided. What is the due date of the withholding tax? So in the previous Finance Act 2022, the withholding taxes were remitted and paid on the 20th of each and every month. But Due to the new Finance Act 2023, withholding taxes should be remitted to the commissioner within 5 working days after deduction is made. So, let's assume you have limited the withholding tax today. You'll count within the 5 days you've already submitted and paid your withholding taxes. Failure to which, as I've said earlier, penalties and interests will definitely follow you. So, take note, hiyo imebadilika. Within 5 days, pay your withholding taxes. So, withholding taxes, another point to note, withholding taxes for immovable property was reduced by this Finance Act 2023 from 10% to 7.5%. So, immovable properties, withholding taxes were 10% at the previous Finance Act 2022, but now it's at 7.5%. So, there are other withholding taxes on oil and gas sector. Oil and gas sector. So this is mostly operated by foreigners or non-residents. So that's why they've given the different rates of withholding taxes. So withholding taxes of non-residents in oil and gases are, number 1, dividends. Dividends should be charged at 10%. Interests should be charged at 15%. Natural resources income should be charged at 20%. Management and professional fees should be charged at 10%. So, tumeangalia zile zingine, we've seen the rates, and for these there are different rates. So, take note, these are not all, they are just but a few. Do your own research. Jua, in oil and gases, the rates applied to the services. So, another very important point to note, for non-residents, withholding taxes is final tax. For non-residents, withholding tax is final tax. But for resident, it varies with the type of payments. It varies with the type of payment. So, kuna zile zenye ni final na kuna zile zenye si final. So, it's up to you, your accounting team, to advise you accordingly on which tax is final and which one is not final, needs to be paid. So, do your research well, but very, very crucial point to note, which will affect a lot of people, is the payment date of the withholding tax. Make sure that you remit the tax within the 5 days and pay. Failure to which, remember, penalties and interests hamtakosana nazo. You will always find yourself in that situation. So to be on the safer side, pay on the right time. Pay on the right time. So go through that for today. And if it's the first time you are engaging with us, tumesoma kidogo, fika pale kwa my channel CP Ernest Ngugi Macharia, subscribe, share, like, comment. Let's help each other, and with time your tax accounts will be clean. So until next time, go through that and remember to apply for the tax amnesty. Hiyo nasisitiza kabisa, apply for the tax amnesty, kwa sababu